Hey, good day. How are you doing? All right. Well, today's video is going to talk a little bit about estimating, and a really important thing to remember is whatever you do to one number, you should do to the other number. So for example, if I had a number like 174 and I was adding 183 and I wanted to estimate, if I decide to estimate 184 and round it to the nearest 10, so there's my tens. I look to the right and I see a 4. It's lower than a 5, so I round down, which means my 7 stays the same. The 4 becomes a 0, and I can't forget about the 1. If I round that number to the nearest 10, then I should also round my next number to the nearest 10. So here's a 10. I look to the right. I see a 3. So I'm going to round it down, which means my 8 stays the same. My 3 becomes a 0, and I don't want to forget about the numbers in front. So 183 rounded to the nearest 10 is 180. So that's really good. What I did to one number, right here, I did to the other number. I rounded them both to the nearest 10. But maybe you don't want to round to the nearest 10, and that's okay. Maybe you want to round to the nearest 100. Well, 174 to the nearest 100, here's my hundreds place value. I look to the right and it's a 7. So that means I'm going to round up because it's 5 or higher. So that means my 1 becomes a 2 and then I add 2 zeros. Because remember, when you round to the nearest 100, you should have 2 zeros in your number. And because I rounded that to the nearest 100, I should round 183 to the nearest 100. So here's my hundreds place value. I look to the right, it's an 8. That means I'm going to be rounding up. So the 1 becomes a 2, and then I add my 2 zeros. So that's okay to do as well because I rounded both numbers to the nearest 100. But if you round both numbers to the nearest 10, that's also okay. What you don't want to do is round one number to the nearest 10 and one number to the nearest 100. That's not a very good habit. Whatever you do to one number, you should do to the other. Like if I gave this number here, let's say I gave it a lollipop. Ooh, there's a lollipop. Doesn't that look delicious? And if I didn't give the other number a lollipop, oh, that lollipop would be crying. You didn't give me a lollipop. Well, sorry, the lollipop wouldn't be crying, the number would be crying. But in order to be fair, the best practice is whatever you do to one number, do to the other number. So if you give one number a lollipop, you give the other number a lollipop. It's only fair. And then those tears will disappear. Aw, isn't that sweet? Remember, if you round a number to the nearest 10, you should round the other number to the nearest 10 in the same question. Whatever you do to one number, you should do to the other. Thanks for watching.